This episode is brought to you by the good humans at Babylon Burning. Babylon Burning is a 50-year-old legacy screen printing business located in the heart of San Francisco's South of Market district. They specialize in high-quality custom screen printing that's built to last. For 5 decades, they've been putting ink to fabric, working hands-on with beloved SF institutions like Rainbow Grocery, the Balboa Theater, and the SF MoMA to produce custom merchandise people love to wear, collect, and proudly show off. 2026 marks 50 years of keeping this well-oiled machine running strong. Babylon Burning is truly a shop that's been keeping San Francisco weird, loud, and well-dressed since day one.
So I used to go stay at Maximum Rock and Roll, and so I was really obsessed with San Francisco because the first time I came out, I was like, everything's beautiful, the weather's perfect because the sun's out but it's not too hot, everyone's a punk, everyone's a vegetarian, everyone's pro-LGBTQ and like liberal, and I'm like, okay, I need to be here.
That was KQED journalist and author Rae Alexandra. I'm Jeff, and this is Storied San Francisco, a show about the artists, activists, and working people who make this city unique. In this episode, meet and get to know Rae. Originally from Wales, she recently published the book Unsung Heroines, 35 Women Who Changed the Bay Area with City Lights Publishing. But this episode covers her life in the UK and how she ended up moving here at the turn of the century. Here's Rae Alexandra.
So I grew up in Cardiff, which is the capital of Wales. A lot of people don't know where Wales is. We are next door to England. And Wales is small and friendly, and we are on par, drunken-wise, with the Irish.
Yes.
People don't know this. If more people knew this, more people would visit us.
Interesting. It's on the Ireland side of...
It is on the island side, yes.
Also, it's one of the Ks, right, in UK? Am I crazy?
No, the K is the kingdom, and the kingdom colonized all of us. We're the united part, we're the U part, I guess.
So what do you call, like, is Wales a country?
Wales is a country.
Got it, okay.
So all of the countries in the United Kingdom, it's like Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and England.
You know, in this country, we're terrible about all that. Like, I'm watching the Olympics, and it's Great Britain, and I'm like, well, fuck. I mean, I think I know what UK is. I definitely know what it is. Great Britain just the Scotland, Wales, and England?
No.
Oh, fuck!
Great Britain is the UK. It's the United Kingdom.
Synonymous.
It's the same thing.
Oh.
Yeah. This is like the time when I first got here, and I kept hearing GOP, and I had to ask someone, why are they called the GOP? And once I found out, I was like, oh, dear God. Like,
yeah. Misnomer.
Yeah, no. No, thank you. Yes, the UK and Great Britain are the same thing.
Got it. Thank you for that history lesson for
You're
welcome. Or geography, I guess I should say.
It is confusing.
Okay. But you are from Wales.
I am from Wales, yes. I'm from the capital of Wales.
Okay.
Wales is delightful. We have all of the best castles because of how many times that people have invaded us and conquered us. So we just have a whole circle around the perimeter. So if you want to see cool castles, go to Wales.
Interesting. Good to know. Travel tips. Thank you.
Up the street from my mum's house, there's Caerphilly Castle, and that has, I believe, it's the largest crossbow in Europe. And you can sit in it. And it's because they used to shoot us for speaking Welsh.
But whoever shot it could sit down, could just chill, and just kill people really far away.
Yeah, someone told me that you're not allowed to sit in it anymore, which I think is a travesty, but yeah.
Do any of these castles have moats?
Oh, they all do.
Good. I'm
but
a big
they're
fan
not
of
filled.
moats.
They have them emptied. But yeah, you get to go over the drawbridge and everything. That's normal.
Well, you mentioned to me, I believe, off mic, again, shit memory, but you mentioned growing up in the 90s.
Yes.
So were you born in the 70s, 80s, kind of?
78, baby.
78? Oh, are you a horse?
I am a horse.
We're in your lunar
year.
You're in your
Yes.
lunar year.
Yes.
Congratulations.
This is the year that I'm going to destroy all of the tech companies and make all of the rents cheap in San Francisco again. And I'm going to do this with the help of other horses because we're all, I've realized, kind of unhinged. All of the 1978 horses are a little bit unhinged.
I just I just learned that someone I've known for a long time is a horse. I'll connect y'all.
Are they also unhinged?
She will burn shit down. Oh, she will burn shit down.
Yes, we all burn shit down. So this is going to be our year. We're going to fix everything.
Hell yeah.
Wildly optimistic. But let's see what happens.
So you were the ones we've been waiting for.
I hope so. I hope so. The rage levels are unparalleled.
Yes. Okay. But you did do some growing up, and like your earliest memories would be the 80s, correct?
Yes. Oh yeah.
So what were the 80s like, and were you still in Cardiff then, or?
Oh yes, I was in Cardiff from the point I was born until I graduated, and I stayed in college in Cardiff. Because I was very attached to a group of skateboarders, and I did not want to go to the other university that I was accepted to in England, and thank God I didn't. So I finished college in my hometown, and then I moved to London. But yeah, my entire childhood and most of my teens, no, all of my teens were in Cardiff, yeah.
Can you describe, like, what kind of things were young Rae into?
Do you know what? Okay, so I was a music nerd.
Besides skateboarding.
I was a music nerd from the time I look back on this and it's slightly insane. I remember lying in my bed when I was about 5 or 6, and it would be Sunday afternoon, and I would sit with the Top 40 Countdown and do that thing that we all did in the 80s, which is like record our favorite songs and make mixtapes. And now I look at 5 and 6-year-olds and I'm like, what? Like, how was I?
Yeah.
Who even showed me how to do this? But I think there were so few distractions.
Definitely fewer. Definitely fewer.
I mean, in Wales in the 80s, there were 0 distractions, especially on a Sunday. My God, we had 4 channels, and one of them was somebody doing algebra, and one of them was somebody... There's literally... I don't know if it's still on TV, but Sunday afternoons in the UK... for the entirety of my childhood, had a show called One Man and His Dog, and it's literally like sheep herding.
I mean, I watched a documentary that came out of Sundance about public access TV, which started in New York. This sounds a lot like that, but
except
maybe
it's what our actual channels were doing. This is what the British Broadcasting Corporation was giving us in the 80s.
Would you say like it's part of like the wicked English sense of humor, or?
Maybe. I mean, also the other thing that was happening in the 1980s in Wales, which I do think had a lasting impression on me, is that Wales is traditionally mining country. It's where all of the coal comes from.
Okay.
Which is why the English to this day still look down on us as the scum of the earth. They also consider us feral, which we are compared to them. So that's a whole thing. But when I was growing up, what I remember primarily about my childhood, outside of what was going on with my friends and my sisters and my family, is that nightly IRA bombs were on the news. So everything's getting blown up in England. And in Wales, all of the miners were on strike.
Oh.
So, and it was like violent, and it went on for like an entire year that these miners were like fighting Thatcher. And so...
Oh, God, Thatcher, right.
Wales in the 1980s is basically like listening to The Clash.
Oh.
Just constantly, your whole life. Like, that's the vibe.
I like that.
Yeah.
And also New Order just came on.
Yeah.
Sorry. Maybe it'll come through. I can't tell.
So I think in my head, as a child, I was like, I'm going to leave Wales as soon as I can.
Okay.
It's having left Wales that then you appreciate Wales. But when I was growing up in it, I didn't. I was just like, this is grim. It rains all the time.
Is it pretty?
It's beautiful.
Did you know that as a kid?
No.
Yeah.
It takes leaving.
Sure. Yeah.
And it took me leaving to fully appreciate my own culture, for sure.
Is it lush like Ireland? You mentioned
very, very lush because it rains constantly.
Yeah. I just want to go back quickly to recording the top 40. Did you do the thing of like the record and pause?
Yes.
And then when things come, it's so much an easier
yes.
button. Yeah.
Absolutely. I was a pro.
Yes.
Come on,
we were all like little DJs kind of.
Yeah. I mean.
Or mixers or something.
There wasn't money to go out and buy records. That's how you do it.
Yeah. And tapes were kind of cheap.
Kinda.
Yeah.
My oldest sister had a copy of the Lost Boys soundtrack on cassette, and we wore it out. That is also like, somebody sent me a Lost Boys thing the other day, and I was like, this is the soundtrack to my childhood. That and like Control by Janet Jackson were like big ones.
I've been really into Janet Jackson lately because I'm listening. I mean, I knew the music at the time kind of. But like now I'm like, God damn, the bass and the drums are insane.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Thank you for mentioning that.
And then when I got to like 10, I found hair metal and everything went wildly off track. Yes.
Okay. I want to come back to that, but also you've more than once mentioned now sisters.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a middle sister who's 4 years older than me. She currently lives like an hour outside of Brisbane in Australia. And then the oldest one, who is 6 years older than me, lives in the suburbs just south of London.
Okay. So you're the baby.
I am the baby.
Me too. Of 3 boys.
Yes. Oh.
I'm also really into birth order. Birth order, I think, is important.
Can I ask you?
Absolutely.
This is very important to me.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you feel like that whole thing about middle children being neglected is bullshit? Because I feel like the middle children are always the favourites. Because in my family, the middle child is the golden child. We've referred to her as the golden child since we were children.
Yes, I agree with that. I'm just trying to think of, besides my brother, who I don't know if he's the favorite. He's the only one who stayed super close to my parents, you know, like geographically, physically.
Okay.
So he's like all up in their business.
The middle children are they're always the favourites. They
yeah.
are. It's a lie. This middle child thing is a lie.
Yeah. I'll go on record. I agree.
And also, can I ask you this?
Absolutely.
Now I'm interviewing you.
Of course.
That's what I'm used to.
Yep.
As the youngest one, did you find you could get away with a lot more because your parents were exhausted by that point?
100,000 million%.
Yeah. I'm so grateful for that.
Totally.
I got away with murder.
And that's been true of every youngest that I've met in my adult life.
We're unattended.
Totally.
We're unsupervised.
But also, I feel like I paid back in my childhood. I paid that back, that privilege. I'm going to call it a privilege, by also agreeing to do anything my older brothers and their friends wanted me to do, especially with when the camera's rolling.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I did shit like get in the dryer, and they turned it on. They didn't film it, obviously.
How did that go?
Oh my God. I thought I could handle maybe one rotation, but it gets really hot really fast.
Yes.
They lined it with pillows, you know, because they were looking out for me, but...
How did you fit in there? I mean, I realized...
I was like 5.
Okay.
Because my oldest brother is 8 years older.
Okay.
So, you know, so he's a teenager, and it's like, oh, let's have Jeff do it.
Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you.
But I just feel, I feel like...
1980s.
I didn't make a decision to do that, but when I look back on it now, because I believe in something either that is karma or along the lines of karma, like you give what you get, right? And it's like, something in me early was like, take that privilege of being the kid who gets away with everything and give them something back.
So karmically, does this mean that you get to put someone else in a dryer at some point?
I'd love to put my oldest brother, who fucking sucks, in the dryer. Like, he's a real shit human.
Oh.
Actual shit human.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's the only one, though. No, that's not true. You know, there's other, like, politicians and people who are running the show right now who I would put in the dryer.
Oh, I'd put many people in dryers.
Yeah. But most people, I'm just like, well, even if you just kind of suck, you're harmless.
I mean,
and I wouldn't put you in a dryer.
The usual thing I say if someone says something ridiculous or that I really disagree with, I have a tendency to say, get in the sea. Just get in the sea.
I wonder if that's the Welsh in you.
It is the Welsh in you.
Yeah.
Just get in the sea. But now it's going to be get in the dryer.
Get in the dryer. Mm-hmm. Well, you're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, well, now we've talked about birth order and your sibling situation. Were you close with either sister growing up?
I was very close with both of them.
Okay.
I harbour a great deal of resentments towards my middle one for moving to Australia and abandoning us. Because we were that close. At one point, me and the middle sister shared a bedroom in London that literally, if you opened the door, you hit the mattress that was on the floor.
Yep.
And we shared that room, and we would stand on that mattress to get dressed for work in the morning.
Oh my God.
And she had a set of drawers in the hallway on the stairs outside, and occasionally I'd be like, Claire, I really need some alone time, go to your room, and she would go and stand next to the drawers. Like, we were in love with each other enough to share a bedroom for like 7.5 months.
Until she stabbed you in the heart.
Yeah.
Have you been to Brisbane, though?
I have.
To visit her? Okay.
I would visit more often if she was actually in Brisbane, but she's like an hour outside, and it's like Gold Coast, and I'm bored out of my mind.
Okay.
I'm not a beach person, I'm a city person.
Well, I was going to say, at least you have someone there, but it sounds like it's where she literally is.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay. Let's go back to young Rae let's talk about your move to London. So you stayed in Cardiff for a while.
Yes.
But then you're like big city. Like what was it about London that
I
brought you
had
there?
made the decision when I was 12 that I was going to become a music journalist. This was ridiculous, but I felt like, why not? Like, someone has to do it. And so from the time I was 12, I was like, okay, who can I write for? And so I spent all of my teens sneaking my stuff into newspapers, local papers, and like the college paper. I started writing for the college paper when I was like 14 because they don't know. They're just getting sent stuff by students. They don't know I'm not a student.
Did you have a nom de plume?
No, I was using my real last name.
Okay.
Which I no longer use. I use my middle name because when you are a woman who works in the music press, it's best not to use your last name because you get death threats all the time.
Interesting.
Not anymore because I don't do that anymore. But so yeah, I was a music nerd for all of my teens.
Riffing off of your recording of Top 40.
Yes.
Were you reading music journalism as a kid?
Obsessively.
What kind of magazines and possibly newspapers?
So in the UK, when I was a small child, I was reading smash hits. Everything came out on Wednesday. It was every Wednesday. So I'd
weekly.
Everything was weekly.
Wow.
So I would read smash hits every week, and then once I got into metal, I started reading Kerrang every week, and then there was some indie alt years. So I was reading NME and Melody Maker. So no, I kind of like dipped in and out of everything. And then my first job out of college was for Kerrang.
Okay.
So I was like, and I had been saying for all of my teens, I'm going to move to London and be a journalist. And then I moved to London and was a journalist. And then after a year I went, London fucking sucks.
Oh.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've only visited, never lived.
You should only visit because I spent my entire childhood visiting going, I'm going to live in London. And then you live there and you go, Jesus Christ, this is hard. It's just a hard city.
You know what I want to say? Just I want to go on record because, and this is about more than London, is that thing about visiting versus living. Like, it's real. Right?
It's really real.
I tried to live in Chicago for a hot-ass minute, and I love Chicago. I fucking hated living there.
Did you
It
last
was
3
so
years?
mean. No. 6 months.
Oh, shit.
And it wasn't the cold. It was cold, but it wasn't the cold that right. People were fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
And I found it really, and I'm like a, well, my wife, if she ever listens to this, is going to be like, yeah, of course. But I'm like a extrovert as fuck. Like, you know, I like people. I like to go out and da-da-da-da-da. And I just couldn't break anyone.
This was me. Okay, so I left San Francisco in 2013 because I was having a tantrum about what was happening in the Mission District in regards to all the tech people moved in and all my neighbors were getting evicted and all my friends were getting evicted, and I was like, fuck this. I'm going to move to New York. And then, of course, I moved to Brooklyn because I thought Brooklyn will be fine. It'll be fine. And I moved to Brooklyn and I was like, Jesus Christ, how hard is it? Like, I literally lived above a bar and I would go down to that bar and see the same people all the time. And I'd be like, oh, hey, you live in the neighborhood. And they would look at me like I had spat on them.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, I'm
right.
from Wales. The only way that you meet people is in the pub. Like, I'm meeting people in the bar because that's how you meet people. I couldn't break anyone.
Yeah.
I couldn't break anyone. It was
New York
awful.
is my other good example, and I lived there for 1 year before I moved here. And I like New York is one of my favorite cities probably on earth. One of them, maybe a top 10. I don't know. I love New York. Living there, and I was like, 25, 26. I was just really kind of starting to figure shit out. And then it took a visit out here and then the move out here to realize every aspect, when you live there, every aspect of life is competitive. And that's not me.
Yeah, no,
I am not competitive at all.
Same.
I'm not a rat racer.
Absolutely.
I don't do that. So, and we don't have that here.
I didn't want to work everyone in New York, even the friends that I had, are working 12-hour days or on their own opposite schedules, or I'm like, I don't want to live like this, and no one was questioning it. Like the chef friends that I had, I never saw them because they live in that kitchen and they just go, I guess this is fine. It's like, this is not how to have a life.
So what was it about London that made it the kind of place that is cool to visit, but you're just like, no, thanks?
So the problem with London And I think some improvements have been made since I lived there. But the problem with London is, unless you are a very, very wealthy multi-millionaire person, you don't get to live in the middle of London. So that means even when you don't live far outside the city, you're still spending at least 2.5, 3 hours a day underground on the train, right? Which is miserable. And there was a point when I lived in London where I was like, okay, the sky is great, the buildings are great, the people are great, the floor is great, everything's great. Like, it was fucking miserable.
Yeah.
And especially in the winter when it's dark all the time. And people were hostile. And it made it worse that I was Welsh. Like, people in London are hostile anyway.
So there's like a classism, racism?
Classism, absolute classism,
yeah.
They, the English really was so hostile. Like, I would start talking to somebody at a show or whatever and be like, oh, I just moved here. Oh, where'd you move from? Cardiff. Oh, I'm sorry.
Fuck.
Was the universal response. And I'd be like, you're fucking sorry.
Yeah.
Like, you pay twice as much to live here in this shithole, to spend twice as long on the train. Like, my hometown's amazing. Welsh people are amazing. You're all dicks. Like, fuck you. It made me really hostile.
I don't want to phrase it this way because there's a certain media person who does it, but I have a rule that I would like to implement, which is no one gets to shit on anyone else's hometown. Only you get to shit on your hometown.
That is correct. That is correct.
Come on now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So how long did London last for you?
London lasted, let me see. So I was working for the magazine, and about a year into working for the magazine, that takes me to about 2001, I met a man who was from San Francisco.
Okay.
And I had already spent a lot of time in San Francisco because of being a zine kid and having friends at Maximum Rock and Roll. They would let me come out and stay with them for free if I did the shit work of stuffing the envelopes to send out to the subscribers.
Bay.
No, this was
in the city.
This was Hayes and Divisadero.
Amazing.
In the old house, yeah.
Was Popeyes there then?
It was there then.
Yeah.
And there was like a barbecue place as well on the corner.
Oh yeah, Brothers.
I don't remember what it was
Yeah,
called.
it
I
was
was
called
very
Brothers, yeah.
vegetarian at the time.
Michael was the dude who ran it. Yeah, he was rad.
But so I used to go stay at Maximum Rock and Roll, and so I was really obsessed with San Francisco. Because the first time I came out, I was like, everything's beautiful, the weather's perfect, because the sun's out, but it's not too hot. Everyone's a punk, everyone's a vegetarian, everyone's pro-LGBTQ and like liberal. And I'm like, okay, I need to be here. And so I met this man in London. We were living...
By chance?
I met him randomly in a bar.
Yeah.
But I knew who he was because he was writing for a zine that was edited by my ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
And so we met in London, started living together. We lived together for 6 months there. Then it was time for him to come back to San Francisco, and he's like, you want to come? And I was like, yeah. And by that point, I was freelance for Kerrang anyway, just because I was not cut out for office life, and I kept leaving and going on tour and not like coming back when I was supposed to. And my editors were like, dude, you need to just be freelance because we can't be paying you for this.
Right. You're not in the band, Rae.
No, but it was always a very almost famous situation where they just go on tour with them for like 3 days and then come back and write the story. And it would be like 2 weeks in, and I'd be calling, going, I'm getting some really good stuff here. Like, I'm having a really good time. So I was already freelance, so I was like, okay, well, fine, I'll just move to San Francisco. And I did not understand, as a 22-year-old British person, how impossible it is to do anything here if you don't have a social security number.
Yeah.
Thus began a 7-year odyssey of trying to get one.
I mean, I'll just say, like, in 2002 it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and all the way up to today, so 24 years, and preceding that, even with a social security number, shit can be, like, I'm thinking, like, housing and jobs, the two biggest things. Those can be difficult here.
Yes.
On top of that, you had this extra.
Yes. It just makes everything impossible because if you think about it, and people don't think about this, when you call the cable company, because we had cable back then, when you call the cable company, the automated system asks for the last 4 of your social security number, and you don't have it. So you're like, how am I supposed to get to someone? Stupid things like that. You can't get a cell phone without putting down a $200 deposit. You can't get a bank account. I could go to Patelco Credit Union. They were the only ones who were nice about it, but like, it just makes life very, very difficult.
What is the story of why y'all moved here. You didn't have to do that.
He had to move back here because his visa ran out.
There you
and
go.
I came back with him. And there was a brief interlude where he was here for a couple of months without me. And when I got back out here, I was like, oh, you are not my boyfriend. I don't know who this human is.
Oh, wow. How many months?
We did 6 months living in London. We did 7 months together in London in a relationship, and then there was 2 months, and then I came out here, and on day one I was like, I don't know who this person is.
So only 2 months that he was here without you.
I don't think it was about that. This man was a raging sociopath, and I can spot them from a mile away now, but I was very young, and he was the perfect boyfriend, the most perfect boyfriend in the world when we lived in London, because he was doing the long con, which is, I'm going to be the most perfect boyfriend in the world, and then I'm going to separate her from her friends and family, and then she will be trapped, and I can do whatever I want.
Do I watch too much Dateline? This sounds fucking creepy.
It was really creepy. He was the devil.
Yeah.
He was the devil.
It's also just like being a heterosexual woman.
Yes, but that man was heavily involved in the punk scene here.
Okay.
And had a lot of background in the Oakland punk houses and things of that nature. And by the end of his life, he died in 2015, but by the end of his life, he was a pariah. Like, no one wanted anything to do with him.
Yeah.
He burned all of the bridges.
So when you came here in 2002, did you come to San Francisco? Did you come, where did you
San Francisco.
land? And what neighborhood?
We were in Bernal Heights.
Okay. Oh, I love
on
Bernal
Cortland.
Heights. I just recorded over there.
Which,
I love it.
I mean, Bernal Heights now has turned into...
It's different.
An impossibly expensive...
Yes.
Oh, you'd like to buy a house here? Good luck. Better get a job in tech.
I did just learn off mic when I recorded over there the other day, though. I missed this, like when the gentrification was first happening.
Yeah.
Cortlandia. Have you heard that?
No.
No, right? I was like, that's brilliant.
Oh my God.
Because that's what was happening to Cortland.
Right.
Was Portlandia, and so they called it Cortlandia.
I mean, there's still cool stuff on Cortland, but that was the first place that I lived, and I was mostly, we were just in the Mission all the time. I was just interested in the Mission. I was in love with the Mission. I stayed in love with the Mission.
Do you want to name drop some early spots that you found?
No, because it's all just the dives that we used to refer to. So basically what happened with this man was we were together here, and then we ended up, he did that thing that men in bad relationships do where he beat me down to a degree mentally that I agreed to marry this person.
Oh, God, okay.
Because he had instilled me with the idea that, he used to say to me all the time, you'd never survive in San Francisco without me, you'd never survive in San Francisco without me, right? So we go back to the UK, we got married. That marriage lasted 3 months. Because once I was back on home turf, I was like, wait a second, what am I doing? And then I hung out in London for a year, and then I came back here, and that began my period of, I don't like to say homeless because that sounds dramatic, but I did not have anywhere to live. It was couch surfing.
Unstable.
It was very unstable.
Unstable housing, yeah.
I didn't live anywhere. I lived in many places. Many couches, many piles of laundry, sometimes a roof here and there. Oh. So that went on for about 6 months, 5 or 6 months.
Though.
In San Francisco. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can stay on a roof because of our Mediterranean climate.
Yeah, oh my God, it was a nightmare. Don't even get me started. The laundry pile was better than the roof.
Oh, no.
Actually, same location. We'd done the laundry pile, and then it was like, oh, let's try it. Just do the roof. No. Awful.
Still in the Mission, though.
All in the Mission. But by that point, I had enough friends here that I could bounce around until I figured out a spot. And then...
So I'll just say, unlike my time in Chicago, my 6 months and then my year, I made some friends in New York, but like I feel like here, meeting people is almost a given.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It was very easy back then.
Yeah.
If you're in
I love that about here, though. I love that about here.
I do too.
Yeah.
So when I came, I mean, the way that, in terms of spots, it's all the same shit. You except now it's 3 times the price. So you know, for me, when I had no money, you go, okay, well, if I've got $7, I can get a burrito from Taqueria Cancun, and this is
three
For like, no, it was
Four?
like, it was like five.
Oh,
five or
already
six,
five, yeah.
like $5 or $6, but that's a whole day's worth of food. And then we had bartender friends everywhere, so there wasn't really paying for booze. And I remember very specifically, and I like to tell people this, there was a point where we referred to the blackout triangle, and the blackout triangle was Kilowatt, Delirium, and Dr. Bombay's.
Yeah.
And no one remembers Dr. Bombay's.
I forgot about it. I remember it now.
Dr. Bombay's was the shit, man.
Yes, okay.
I met so many good people in Dr. Bombay's.
Wow.
And no one remembers it.
So wait, so Kilowatt,
Delirium.
and yeah.
That was the blackout triangle.
Oh my God.
But also, we had Beauty Bar was fairly new. So Beauty Bar was like fun at the time, and I remember when that started getting weird. Like there were certain nights. I remember I was in there once, just sat at the bar, and some man started grinding on me, and I was like, "We're done with this." Like they had like a weird like R&B night, and I was like, "Okay, well, we're done here."
Yeah.
But it was also back when everyone was smoking in bars, and also around 2005, I got a job in Arrow Bar downtown, Market and 6th.
Oh,
It's called the Rumpus Room now.
Yes.
But
Which I
Arrow Bar opened. It was such a shithole. It was such a shithole.
I would have loved it then.
It was really fun, and it was during that period of San Francisco where people would come in, and we literally, the bartenders would say to people, "Can you just do your cocaine at the bar?" Because we've only got 2 bathroom stalls, and when you go in there, it really like causes problems.
Right.
So just do it at the bar. We don't mind.
Right.
It's fine.
That was Rae Alexandra. We recorded this episode at Vesuvio in North Beach. On the next episode of Story San Francisco, hear the rest of Rae's story, including how and why she wrote Unsung Heroines. Part 2 drops this Thursday, wherever you get podcasts. Music for Storied San Francisco was produced, performed, and curated by Otis McDonald. Our contributing producer is Aaron Lim of Bitch Talk Podcast. And the show is produced and hosted by me, Jeff Hunt. Now in our 8th season, we have more than 300 episodes available on our website, storiedsf.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If possible, please rate and review the show. I want to know what you think. Find us on Substack for our monthly newsletter and more. And follow us on Instagram and Threads at storiedsf. Reach us there or email us at storiedsf@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Try to stay hopeful in these dark times. Keep being wacky, creative, and kind out there. And we'll see you next time on Storied San Francisco. We acknowledge and respect the first humans of the unceded land we call San Francisco, the Ramaytush Ohlone. We condemn the genocide of these and other tribes across the Western Hemisphere. We honor their legacy and history, and we support rematriation and sovereignty efforts.